Hi, I'm Pat Flaherty, and I wanted to show you about the MATS system for the MAPEX tom mount. It does come with this brochure, which is very helpful, especially as it'll show how to adjust for the different resonances that you want. And it's handy if you go to this website here. Don't have one of those, you're going to be looking at an awful lot of parts, and it's a little bit daunting. So this is the MATS mount here, which is more complicated than about any mount you've seen. And then there's a post that comes off the mount for the tom. If you're going to use one, you're going to have, we actually labeled ours per drum. So it has a post that goes into the bass drum mount, or you can mount it off a rack or something like that. If you try to put this into a cymbal stand, notice that this shaft is way too big for the cymbal stand. You could maybe do one. We decided to get 3 different toms for our drum set. If we wanted to use all 3, then we have to use this double tom mount, and it goes on the cymbal stand. It's a little complicated. The first thing that I tried to deal with was how do you actually put the tom on here. So this hole here is for this part of the tom. And when you put it on there, then it seems it's like, how do you actually tighten it up? So if you look, there's a small key nut here. So you're going to tighten that up. It's a very small area that you can tighten it, so it does take a little while. After a while, it's pretty secure. You can tighten that as much as you want, or you can kind of leave it a little bit loose so you can adjust it until you get it to where you want it, then you tighten it down. So that's what it's going to look like when it's on the tom. And then this would go into your bass drum mount. Now the other thing I dealt with was it came with all these other extra parts. We weren't exactly sure at first how to use them. So here's the 10-inch tom mount. It's got a lot of moving parts. So the thing to remember is you're going to put one of these other shafts into this. Now if you want to do a single tom on your bass drum, then you would use this long shaft. If you want to use 2 small toms, then you're going to have to mount them onto this double tom mount. So that would go on a cymbal stand. So in your cymbal stand, you're going to take out the bottom part and the top part. And you loosen this and take that off. This goes in there. And now you're on the cymbal stand. So these will each go in there, depending on which drum you want. Now, this 8-inch tom mount is already there. So there's that one. When you try to put this one in there, it's a pretty tight fit. And it does take a little bit of working with it to get it so all the holes line up the way you need it to. So a little patience is pretty much what it takes. Okay, so once you get it so the holes line up pretty well, then you're going to slide that in there. Now, there is a flat side on this piece, which is where the tightening will happen. So you just kind of work it in there. Once you put that in there, then you can tighten it up. Just snugs fine. All right. And you're ready to go. So you can put a tom in here. You can put a tom in here. Now the other thing is this adjustment, that's what will change the angle of your tom. So once you get that on there, I can show you on here. There's one on this side, there's one on the other side. Once you loosen those, and the other pair. So you'll see that you've got a bit of an angle adjustment there. Okay, so that should show you how to put the tom onto the mount. This will go into your bass drum, or if you're going to do it off a cymbal stand, that works. The nice thing about this cymbal stand is you can also put the top back on, put your arm in, and it's also will continue to function as a cymbal stand, which is great. So the tricky thing is, say you decide you want to use your 10-inch tom, but it's only the 10-inch tom and you don't want to take it off your cymbal stand. Well, then you have to loosen these three. Take that out. And you're going to take a longer one. Work it back in. Always remember you have this flat side. Then you can tighten those down. And another advantage is this is made so you could actually put your cymbal on that. So there's your tom mount. Don't forget you have this little tightener here, so when you put the tom mount in there, you tighten that up. And then you can tighten those down to get the angle the way you want it. Okay, so to go further into how the tom mount actually works as far as controlling resonance, there are a lot of different, you have the magnet here, you've got this adjustment, and that will continue, that helps you control the length of the resonance. And there's really a good video on that online. If you go to MAPEX MAATS tom mount, you'll find that. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll talk to you later.